Here we have different exercises or skills you can perform with the basketball with a wall. So you're going to perform each exercise or skill for roughly 30 seconds, or you can count up to 10 reps or 20 reps or 30 reps. So always have a goal in mind for each exercise, how long or how many reps you want to perform. So as you can see, I'm going over different passes toward the wall, whether it be bouncing before it touches the wall or dribbling before you pass, such as that. So different skills here we're looking at, from passing to dribbling, and combining those skills as well. So if you don't have a partner, this is good for someone to do. This is also good for people to do in class with an instructor watching them, because what happens is the instructor can go around, they can evaluate, they can give them cues, they can tell them what they're doing right or what they need to help work on. And then also the instructor can also assess their students performing the same skill at the same time, so there's consistency in that everyone is doing the same thing. And if everyone's around the entire gym and you have a wall that you can do this with, remember each exercise or skill you can perform for 30 seconds up to a minute. So for example, if you were to take 10 of these exercises or skills and perform them for 30 seconds, that would be 5 seconds or 5 minutes. So if you wanted a 5-minute warm-up or a 10-minute warm-up or a 15-minute warm-up, you could add in those exercises and count how many reps or how many seconds that you want to perform them. So still going over some different types of throwing. This is a sidearm throw, really just opening up the body, doing things in different planes of motion. So we're not just shooting, as you see. You notice that most students will go into a gym, they'll want to shoot the ball. They don't do anything that's repetitious beside dribble, and even dribbling nowadays becomes boring. So you have to think of different things you can do that promote success. And so as you can see, we're getting a little bit harder with the skills. We're starting to get a little bit more task progressive in that we're making them a little bit harder. So feel free to use a different type of ball, a softer ball, a lighter ball, such as a blow-up flotation volleyball or a beach ball, just depending on what you think the learner needs. Obviously not starting with a basketball with somebody who is visually impaired. Wouldn't want to push the ball at the wall and have it come back and hit the student in the face. So you would always want to make sure that you're using the right ball before you approach this exercise with your students. Make sure each student has the ball that they deem most appropriate for themselves, and one that also you see fit as well. So now we're just looking at shooting skills. One thing I did leave out was layups, and that's a 1-2-3 step approach. That's another exercise or skill I might be able to add later in to this video some other day. But noticing that my left side is not as good as my right side, it's really important for you to make sure that you switch each exercise or each skill that performs on the right side. So if you get the right side for 10 to 20 seconds or 10 to 20 shots, make sure you get the left side too. So now we're having a little bit of fun here. So students really like this, throwing it over the head, trying to hit the wall, bouncing it, and then catching it. Okay, it's good for spatial awareness. It's good for anticipation. It's a good mental exercise. It keeps you in the now. You have to be really paying attention. Here's another exercise where you're going 360 around, really having to move fast. So this is good for agility. It's for hand-eye coordination. This is good for quickness. And just some fun things you can do. Through the leg, call this right leg hoop loop. This is a fun skill to practice with some of your learners. And again, you might not be able to do this, you might not be able to actually throw it through the legs, but you'll be able to roll it through the legs. So you're always able to modify and adapt all these exercises. So here's just a couple extra exercises that I added that you can use: Russian twists, wall to wall. Good exercises here. And now you're gonna see that. Now we're gonna get in a little bit. This can be scary for some students. Um, it's very uncomfortable to try this activity or skill at first, but it's definitely a fun activity. It gives them a different perception of how the ball can move in air. So you never know if the ball can come over your head or drop in front of you, and just really allowing your students to get ready for any situation. Now we're going to have the student back up. So now we're backing up into the wall, but notice that the head is forward and the hips are back. So this helps the student learn to box people out using their hips and not their shoulders or not their upper back, and they get low. Here we have some side dribbling, okay, from one side of the gym to the other, practicing going from side to side, trying to do things in just more than one plane of motion as opposed to going forward and back. Think about skills that you can do from side to side or in the transverse access where you're twisting. Here we have some hook shots going over the right arm. Again, you can use targets on the wall. It's better to use the wall because you're going to get more successful chances as opposed to everyone shooting at the net at the same time. Remember, there's limited nets, but there's more space if you use the wall. So if everyone has a piece of the wall, everyone is good to go. And just practicing some hook shots here. And what else do we have? That's going to be it.